Welcome to my channel. Do you know what is secretly stopping you from speaking English? It may not be grammar. It may not be vocabulary. It may be fear. You know the words, but you are afraid to speak. You make one small mistake, and you become silent. But what if I tell you that you do not need perfect English to speak with confidence? You only need to start. In this video, I will show you simple steps to stop fearing mistakes, train your ears, speak naturally, think in English, and finally build real confidence. Stay until the end, because one simple habit can change the way you speak English. Chapter 1. Stop being afraid of mistakes. It is a quiet morning. I sit in my room with my notebook in front of me. I want to speak English with confidence, but I feel nervous. I know some words. I know some simple sentences. But when I imagine speaking with another person, my mind becomes empty. I start thinking about grammar. I worry about pronunciation. I worry that someone will laugh at my mistakes. Maybe you feel the same. You may understand English, but speaking feels difficult. You may know the answer in your mind, but when you open your mouth, the words disappear. This is a common problem for English learners. But today, I want you to understand something important. You do not need perfect English to start speaking. You need courage to use the English you already know. I look around my room. I see a table. I see a chair. I see a window. I take a deep breath and say, "This is a table." Then I say, "This is a chair." I point at the window and say, "This is a window." The sentences are very simple. They are not special, but something important is happening. I am speaking English. I am using my voice. I am not waiting for perfect grammar. I am not waiting for a teacher. I am not waiting for someone to tell me that I am ready. I am simply beginning. At first, my voice sounds strange to me. I make mistakes. Sometimes I forget a word. Sometimes I say a sentence in the wrong way. But I continue. I remind myself that mistakes are not my enemy. Mistakes are part of learning. Think about a child learning to walk. A child falls many times, but the child does not say, "I am bad at walking." The child stands up and tries again. Learning English is similar. You fall. You make mistakes. You try again. Slowly, you become stronger. Many beginners make one big mistake. They wait for confidence before they speak. They think, when my grammar is better, I will speak. But confidence does not work that way. You do not wait for confidence. You build confidence by speaking. Every sentence you say is a small step. Every mistake you correct is another step. Every time you speak, even when you feel nervous, you become a little stronger. So try something simple today. Look around your room and describe what you see. Say, "There is a bed." Say, "My phone is on the table." Say, "The door is closed." Say, I am sitting in my room. You do not need difficult words. You do not need long sentences. Simple English is enough. Speak slowly. Speak clearly. Most importantly, keep speaking. Then try another exercise. Stand in front of a mirror. Look at yourself and say, "Hello, my name is Sam. I am learning English. I make mistakes, but I keep trying. I want to speak with confidence." Repeat these sentences several times. At first, you may feel silly. That is okay. You are training your mind to accept your English voice. Remember this powerful idea. Your English does not need to be perfect before you use it. Your English becomes better because you use it. Do not hide your voice because of mistakes. Use your mistakes as lessons. Today, speak one sentence. Tomorrow, speak two. Keep going. Your confidence will grow with every small step. And once you stop being afraid of mistakes, you are ready for the next step. You must train your ears to understand the English around. Chapter 2. Train your ears before you train your mouth. The next morning, I wake up with a new question in my mind. I can speak a few simple sentences, but I still have trouble understanding English when other people speak. I know the words on paper, but when I hear them, they sound different. Sometimes people speak quickly. At first, this makes me nervous. I think maybe my English is not good enough. Then I understand something important. If I want to speak English with confidence, I must also train my ears. Think about a baby learning a language. A baby listens before speaking. The baby hears the same sounds every day. The baby listens to family members and songs. The baby does not understand everything. The baby does not study grammar rules. The baby simply listens again and again. Slowly, the sounds become familiar. Then the baby begins to speak. I decide to use the same idea in my English learning. I will listen every day, even when I do not understand every word. I start with easy English. I choose a short conversation for beginners. The speaker says, "Good morning. How are you today?" I understand it. Then the speaker says something longer. I understand only a few words. Instead of stopping, I listen again. The second time, I hear more. I listen a third time, and suddenly I understand almost the whole sentence. I realize that understanding does not always happen the first time. This is why you should not become angry when you do not understand English immediately. Listening is a skill. Your ears need time to become familiar with English sounds. First, try to understand the main idea. Then listen again and notice the words you know. After that, repeat some useful sentences. You can make listening part of your normal day. In the morning, listen to 5 minutes of simple English while you have breakfast. When you clean your room, play an easy English story. When you go for a walk, listen to a beginner conversation. In the evening, watch a short English video with simple subtitles. You do not need to study for hours. Listening regularly is important. Here is a simple method I want you to try. Listen to the same short audio 3 times. During the first time, just listen. During the second time, listen for words that you recognize. During the third time, pause after short sentences and repeat them. This method helps your ears, your brain, and your mouth work together. Do not always choose difficult English. If you understand almost nothing, the material may be too hard for you right now. Choose English that feels comfortable but still teaches you something new. When you understand most of a short conversation, you feel successful. That success gives you motivation to continue. One day, something surprising happens. I watch a simple English video, and I understand a complete sentence without translating it in my head. I hear the sentence, understand the meaning, and move on. I smile because I know my ears are getting stronger. This small moment gives me confidence. So remember, listening is part of speaking. The better you understand English, the easier it becomes to answer. Train your ears every day. Listen to simple English. Listen again. Repeat useful sentences. Be patient with yourself. You may not notice progress every day, but your brain is learning. And soon, your ears will be ready for the next step. You will not only listen to English, you will begin to copy the way English sounds when you speak. Chapter 3. Make your English sound natural with shadowing. It is evening. I sit quietly in my room and listen to a short English conversation on my phone. The speaker talks slowly and clearly. She says, "Hello, how are you today?" I listen carefully. Then I repeat, "Hello, how are you today?" My voice does not sound like hers. I speak slowly. Some words feel difficult, but I try again. I listen again. I repeat again. Slowly, I discover a powerful way to improve my English. It is called shadowing. Shadowing is simple. You listen to a person speaking English, and then you repeat what you hear. You try to copy the words, the sound, the rhythm, and the way the person speaks. You become like a shadow. The speaker talks, and you follow. You do not need a classroom. You do not need a special teacher. You only need a short English video, your phone, and your voice. At first, shadowing feels difficult. The speaker says a sentence, and I cannot repeat it correctly. Sometimes I forget the words. Sometimes I speak too slowly. Sometimes my pronunciation is not clear. But I do not stop. I remind myself that I am practicing, not performing. Nobody needs to hear me. Nobody is giving me a test. I am simply training my English. I choose a very short video. It is only 1 minute long. The speaker talks about her daily routine. She says, "I wake up at 7 in the morning." I listen once. Then I pause the video. I repeat the sentence. I wake up at 7 in the morning. I listen again. I repeat again. Then I move to the next sentence. I drink coffee in the kitchen. I repeat it slowly. After several repetitions, the sentence becomes easier. This is the important part. Do not choose a long video when you are a beginner. A short video is better. You can listen to the same sentence many times. You can understand it. You can copy it. You can practice it until your mouth feels comfortable. You can use subtitles too. First, listen without worrying about every word. Then, read the subtitles. Look at the sentence. Understand the meaning. Listen again. After that, repeat the sentence. This simple process helps you connect your eyes, ears, brain, and mouth. Shadowing also teaches you something that grammar books cannot always teach you. It shows you how English sounds in real life. You hear where the speaker pauses. You hear which words are strong. You hear how the voice moves. You begin to notice the natural rhythm of English. You do not only learn what to say, you learn how to say it. Try shadowing for 10 minutes every day. You do not need to do it perfectly. Choose a short conversation and practice one small part. Repeat it 5 times. Then repeat it again tomorrow. After a few days, you may notice something exciting. Your pronunciation becomes clearer. Your sentences become smoother. Your mouth moves more easily. You begin to speak without thinking about every single word. Remember, confidence grows through repetition. The first time may feel strange. The 5th time feels easier. The 10th time feels familiar. This is how your brain learns. You hear English. You copy English. You speak English. You repeat the process again and again. So today, choose one short English video. Listen carefully. Pause after each sentence. Repeat the words. Copy the speaker. Do not be afraid of your voice. Do not worry about mistakes. You are building a stronger English voice one sentence at a time. But now there is another question. Can you create your own English sentences without copying someone else? That is the next step. You must learn to think and talk in English by yourself. Chapter 4. Start thinking and talking in English. The next morning, I wake up with a new goal. I have practiced listening. I have repeated English sentences with shadowing. My ears are stronger and my mouth feels more comfortable. But I still have one problem. I can repeat someone else's words, but can I create my own sentences? Can I talk about my life in English without translating every thought? I decide to try. I stand in my room and begin with something. I say, I am in my room. I am sitting on a chair. I have my phone in my hand. These sentences are easy, but they are mine. At first, talking to myself feels strange. I look around and laugh. I think, why am I talking alone? Then I remember why I'm doing it. I need practice. If I always wait for another person, I may not practice enough. My own voice can become my practice partner. I do not need to wait. I can speak whenever I have time. I begin describing everything I do. When I make tea, I say, I am making tea. I need some water. The water is hot. I have a cup. I am adding sugar. When I clean my room, I say, I am cleaning my room. I am opening the window. I am putting the books on the table. These sentences are simple, but they help me connect English with real actions. I am not memorizing random sentences. I am using English to talk about my real life. I ask myself questions. What did I do today? I answer, I woke up early. I had breakfast. I practiced English. I watched a short video. Then I ask, what will I do tomorrow? I answer, I will wake up early. I will read a story. I will practice speaking. I am creating a conversation. This practice is powerful because it teaches my brain to move from an idea to English. Before, I often thought in my first language and then tried to translate. That took time. Now I try to use simple English immediately. If I see a car, I say, there is a car. If I see rain, I say, it is raining. If I feel tired, I say, I am tired. I do not need difficult sentences. There is another important rule. If I forget a word, I do not stop. I use an easier word. For example, if I forget the word refrigerator, I can say, the cold machine in the kitchen. The goal is to keep speaking. Fluent speakers do not know every word either. They find another way to explain their ideas. I also practice in front of a mirror. I look at my face and speak for 1 minute. I talk about my family, my hobbies, my plans, or my day. Sometimes I make grammar mistakes. Sometimes I repeat the same word. That is okay. I am building courage. I am teaching myself that English is safe. Now try the exercise today at home. Choose 1 minute. Look around you and speak about what you see. Then talk about your day. Do not stop because of mistakes. Keep your voice moving. Remember, confidence grows when you use English, not when you only study English. Your room can become your classroom. Your mirror can become your audience. Your voice can become your teacher. Every sentence you speak makes the next sentence easier. When you can think and talk about your daily life in English, you are ready for the next challenge. You need to turn this practice into a daily habit. Chapter 5. Build a daily English system that you can actually follow. This morning, I wake up and think about my English practice. I listen to English. I read simple stories. I practice shadowing. I talk to myself. But I notice something important. Some days I practice a lot, and other days I do nothing. I realize that motivation is not enough. If I want to become confident, I need a simple daily system that I can follow even when I do not feel motivated. I remember one mistake I made before. I tried to study English for 3 hours in one day. I watched many videos, learned many words, and wrote many sentences. I felt proud that night. But the next day, I was tired. I did not want to study. The day after that, I practiced even less. I learned an important lesson. A big plan is not useful if you cannot continue it. A small plan that you follow every day is much stronger. So I create a simple routine. I call it my daily English system. I start with only 25 minutes. 5 minutes are for listening. 5 minutes are for reading. 5 minutes are for speaking. 5 minutes are for shadowing. The last 5 minutes are for thinking in English. In the morning, I listen to a short English story while I have breakfast. Then I read a small paragraph aloud. I read slowly and clearly. I focus on saying the words. Later, I practice speaking. I talk about my morning. I say, I woke up early. I had breakfast. I drank tea. Now I am learning English. Then I do 5 minutes of shadowing. I choose a short conversation and repeat a few sentences. Finally, I think in English while I walk or do simple work. I describe what I see. I say, the sky is clear. There is a car. The road is busy. There is one rule that makes this system even more powerful. I call it the never zero rule. It means I never allow a day to become zero. If I am busy, I practice for 5 minutes. If I am tired, I say 5 English sentences. If I have no time to watch a video, I listen to one short sentence. The practice can become smaller, but it does not disappear. This rule removes pressure. I do not need a perfect day. I only need to keep moving. Some days I practice for 25 minutes. Some days I practice for 10 minutes. Do not compare yourself with fluent speakers. Compare yourself with the person you were last month. Can you understand more? Can you speak more easily? Can you remember more words? Can you make sentences faster? This is important because habits make practice easier. When the same action happens at the same time each day, your brain starts to expect it. You spend less time deciding what to study and more time actually using English. You can keep your routine flexible, but keep the habit alive. You are building real confidence through small actions every single day. Remember, English becomes easier when it becomes a habit. You do not need to feel excited every day. You need a routine that carries you forward. Listen a little. Read a little. Speak a little. Shadow a little. Think a little. Do it again tomorrow. One day, these small actions will become a strong part of your life. But there is still one final challenge. Even with practice, you may sometimes doubt yourself. In the final chapter, we will learn how to break that last wall and speak English with real confidence. Chapter 6. Believe in your English and speak with confidence. It is late at night. I sit quietly in my room and think about my English journey. I was afraid to speak. I worried about grammar and pronunciation. I thought people would laugh at my mistakes. But I kept going. I listened to English. I read simple stories. I practiced shadowing. I talked to myself. I created a daily routine. Now I understand something important. Confidence does not mean that you never feel nervous. Confidence means that you speak even when you feel nervous. Maybe you feel the same today. You may know many English words, but you are still afraid to use them. You may understand a simple conversation, but you become quiet when someone asks you a question. You may think, "My English is not good enough." I want you to change that sentence. Instead, say, "My English is improving." One sentence closes the door. Do not wait until your English is perfect. You may wait for a long time. English is learned through use. Speak with the words you know today. If your sentence is simple, that is okay. If your grammar is not perfect, keep speaking. If you forget a word, explain it another way. Your goal is communication, not perfection. Think about your progress. At the beginning, you may have been afraid to say one sentence. Now you can describe your room. You can talk about your day. You can understand English. You can repeat sentences. You can practice alone. These achievements show that you are growing. I want you to try one final exercise. Record your voice for 2 minutes. Talk about yourself. Say your name. Talk about where you live. Talk about your daily routine, hobbies, and plans. Do not stop because of mistakes. When you finish, listen to your recording. Listen for progress. Notice the words you can say and the sentences you can create. Then record yourself again after 7 days. You may be surprised. Now, I want to give you a simple 7-day confidence challenge. On day 1, speak about yourself for 1 minute. On day 2, describe your room. On day 3, talk about your daily routine. On day 4, shadow a short English conversation. On day 5, tell a simple story about your day. On day 6, speak for 2 minutes without stopping. On day 7, record your voice and compare it with day 1. Do not judge yourself too quickly. You are learning. Some days feel easy and some feel difficult. That is normal. Progress is not always visible, but every practice session is building something inside you. Your English does not need to be perfect to be powerful. English can communicate strong ideas. A small sentence spoken with confidence is better than a complicated sentence that you are too afraid to say. Use your voice. Make mistakes. Correct them. Try again. So, look at yourself today and say, I can learn English, I can speak English, I can improve every day. Say it again. Believe it slowly. Confidence grows from action. Listen, read, speak, repeat, continue. Maybe today you are still nervous. That is okay. Maybe you know only a few words. That is okay. You are not finished. You are beginning. Your room can be your classroom. Your phone can be your tool. Your voice can be your teacher. Your daily practice can become your strength, and one day you will remember the person who was afraid to speak. You will realize that person did not need perfect English. That person only needed to begin and continue. So speak today. Speak tomorrow. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing. You can master English with confidence.